So my name's CBliminal, and you can find me on Instagram at CBliminal. Spotify is CBliminal, Apple Music CBliminal, YouTube CBliminal, same way.
So I want to know, why are you called CBliminal? Where does that come from?
Okay, interesting. Good question. So my name musically was always CB, as it's my initials. It was the easiest thing, the first thing that came to my head. It hasn't always been that. It's been some funky names like Rad Mouse when I was very young.
Red Mouse.
Rad Mouse. I don't know where that came from. It was 3 Rider at one point, so it's been some crazy names, but CB is my initials, and it's what all the guys from the ends call me. That stuck from a young age. And so when I realized I couldn't put music out as CB because too many artists have the name CB or
Really?
CB, yeah. So
I didn't actually know that.
So they wouldn't let me put it out. So I had to come up with a new name, but I wanted to keep it CB in there somehow. And about 2 weeks in a group chat back and forth on Snapchat with the rest of the guys. And one of them put in a name, I can't remember what it was, but they put in a name that was like a subliminal message. So here's me typing, oh, that's got a subliminal message. And then I'm like, subliminal, hold on a second.
It's catchy, I like it.
It
They do say that that's how you find like your name. It's like happens naturally.
Accidental. Yeah.
Accidental. Everything happens for a reason. They do say that, yeah.
And it stuck after that. And nobody else has the name, so.
Meant to be then, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I want to know, you've got a new release coming out today.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that? Give a little bit of a tease if you want to. I mean, I won't say no.
So it's called MI AMOR, which is Spanish for my love. Italian is Mio Amore. But I went with the Spanish version instead because of said reasons.
What's them said reasons?
Well, I'm learning Spanish on Duolingo, and I was learning Spanish with a certain someone. So
Certain someone. Can you go into detail about this certain someone? Because I am intrigued.
No.
No? Fair enough. We'll keep it at that. You'll have to listen to it. You'll have to listen to it to find out who it is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
The song gives a couple of subliminal messages and subliminal insights into
nice.
who it may be.
I'll be listening to that, figuring out who it is.
Exactly.
Tell you. So what kind of sound is it? Like, what sound do you usually have when you like record music?
So it's difficult because I don't stick to one genre. So it's more, the way I make music is purely based on beats. So I'll find beats and I can be on YouTube, God knows till what time, scrolling through beats. And then when I find something, I kind of just shape the whole track around that.
Yeah, so you don't know what you're going to write until it just comes and happens naturally.
Just comes, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So MI AMOR was a song that was written and inspired by someone, and then I had to find the beat that worked with it best and then shape it all around the beat.
Oh, I see. So is that what you usually write about then? Something that's happened to you, an experience, a person?
Yeah.
So like natural things. So do you get inspiration from someone, or is it all yourself?
In this particular track, it was definitely a someone or a particular person, but then naturally tracks in the past, for example, have all been about either real life events that I've gone through personally, or events that I've seen and witnessed or been around, or things that have shaped me in life, for sure.
Okay, so like life experiences.
Most
So your music tells a story then?
Yes.
And what is the CB story?
Ooh. As a whole?
As a whole, who is CB?
Okay, so I grew up in, well, I had a great life until 13, 14, and then my parents shifted and had a little bit of a tear, if you like. And then after living with both parents and neither of them working out, I went into the care system at 14, and that's really what shaped me and made me the man I am today. Not only the care system and the carers I was with in the group homes, but most certainly the guys that I met when I was 16, 17, which are all from Woollerton. I met them when I was 16 or 17, and I was in a group home in St. Anne's. I used to travel there to Woollerton every day on the buses, and I'd go see them. And I think growing up with them. I know a lot of people say it, they're bros, they're guys, this, that, and the other. But for me, it's very different and it's very personal because I didn't have my father to teach me how to shave. I didn't have my father to teach me about women. I didn't have my mother washing my clothes, this, that, and the other. Like, I had to do everything myself and grow up very fast and come accustomed to how the world works and how everything functions. And the guys I grew up with helped me a lot with that, number one. Number two, it definitely, I wasn't wrapped in cotton wool, put it that way.
Yeah, so that shaped you as a person then.
Agreed.
And do you think you'd be where you are today if you hadn't have gone through all of that?
Not a chance, and I wouldn't change it either. A lot of people, usually when you tell your story, they're like, I'm so sorry. But to be fair, one, I don't like the sympathy because I wouldn't change it. If I could go back in time and change it and have a perfect life, I certainly wouldn't have it because I'm appreciative of the position I'm in now. And if anything had been different in the past, where I am now wouldn't happen. Like, it's that kind of like time paradox thing.
It's almost like everything, again, happens for a reason. You've got someone looking over you and like your path is meant to be like that for a reason. Exactly. And where you get in the future, you can look back on it and be like, oh my God, that was incredible that you've managed to do that. And would you say that you channel all of this in your music as well?
100%. Even music itself, I didn't find music. So my father was an avid music fan, and he used to play a game every Sunday where we'd come down after making breakfast and we'd all sit in the living room. This is when everything was happy families and great. And he had an iPod back in the day, which was like the top notch, like the thing. You could have 3,500 tracks on one device. It was crazy. It was next level. And he had a Sonos speaker, and he'd play songs every Sunday for 2 hours in the morning, and it'd be like a quiz. He'd play a song, you'd have to guess the artist, you'd have to guess the name of the song, and guess what album it was from. So I grew up on that. And so that's why my music taste strands from all over the place. And like Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God.
It's a guilty pleasure. Nobody knows.
You're the first person that I've heard say something so like brilliant.
So it comes from everywhere. Hotel California by the Eagles. Nobody will know I listen to that or ever expect I listen to that. But music comes from everywhere. And I think if you can tap into every single genre and different type of music, it helps a lot.
I believe that as well. I heard someone, she said that she doesn't like being defined by genre in music because it's like art. It's like when you're an oil painter or like when you're an artist, you don't stick to one thing. When you're an oil painter, you might want to do watercolour one day. And I think that was so brilliant for her to say that, because I also think that why should you be like stuck in a box in music as well?
I agree.
And it's like you get your inspiration from all over. And who would you say that your biggest inspiration is when it comes to music? You've named a few, but like if you could say like your biggest one.
Biggest inspiration music-wise.
Putting you on the spot a bit here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It has to be, I think in terms of motivation and work ethic, I think it's Nipsey Hussle, strangely enough. Because he did a lot of positive, not only for his community, not only for the people around him. He was always very humble. He was always looking after his lady. Yeah, he was a good man that had a lot of good principles and a lot of good morals. And I think if you keep them and you stick to them, you remain true throughout. So,
definitely. Put that on a t-shirt. That's what I say. Do some merch and put that on a t-shirt. Right, so now we like know a little bit about you. Have you got any like release plans or like parties or anything for the new release?
Parties, no.
No, you haven't got no party.
We definitely should have had a party for Me Amor. The plan was to go to Paris today and shoot the video for Me Amor. Yeah.
Wow, that's mad.
Yeah, so I took the time off work, and the plan was to go to Paris for 2 days and shoot the video on Valentine's Day.
So why aren't you in Paris?
Logistical problems.
It is Valentine's Day as well, by the way. It's Valentine's. So it's perfect release dates, to be honest. You planned that, didn't you?
Yes, I did indeed.
You did, plan that well. So any other plans for like your release? Like when is the music video being done? Where are you going to film it now?
It's difficult for this one. I think now that Paris is out the window today, I think the plan is now to move on to the next one, but have this one to see how it does on streaming platforms, which it should do well. And I think this one's the first one that's going to be radio and chart ready, but I don't think it will hit until summer. So it's out now for the sake of Valentine's Day, but I think it will really start taking traction when the video gets done closer to summer. And
so
then
you said the next one. What's the next one then?
So the next one's called Aurora.
Yeah.
And it's the complete opposite to Mi Amor.
In what way?
So
Explain.
Mi Amor is a track written about, well, the hook is about expressing your love and your gratitude for someone and love as a whole. Mm-hmm. And then Aurora is the complete opposite.
Pure hate, just pure hate.
It's maybe not hate, but very much dissatisfaction and dissatisfaction.
Okay, that comes
in love as a whole.
That comes hand in hand. So is this for an EP? Is this like a continuation of a story?
There might be one coming in.
Oh, it might be one coming. Love that. Well, it's been lovely to have you.
You're jabbing in the right place.
We're jabbing in the right place, and I'll leave you on that. And make sure to check out the latest single as well. We'll link it below.
Yes.